I made a huge mistake. Lost over $10,000. Yep, I made a huge mistake. So I had to get out of the house, take a walk. It's starting to rain. I don't care, but I need a little break. So let's wind back the clock a little bit. I'll take you back just a few hours before I shaved. I sat down this morning to go over our rental portfolio and some of the huge holes that we found in our portfolio. Let's wind back the clock, take a look. This is the Saturday morning where we sit down and figure out how our rental portfolio is performing and what we need to do to fix it. So, gather up some coffee, right?
I don't have any coffee.
You don't have any
I'm too
coffee?
anxious.
But this is what we got to do. You got to nurture your portfolio, and we've got a whole lot of holes right now that we need to fill. We need to fix these. This is exactly what it looks like, going over our spreadsheets here and diving deep into this. What did you find?
I found, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 holes
10 holes. That's
out of
10
53 properties. Out of 53. So
out of 53. So we could be cash flowing right now. If these are fully taken care of, and we hadn't allowed these holes to form. This is totally our fault. Mostly, it's totally our fault, right? Mostly, I think it is.
how long do you have?
Well, I mean, there's a lot here, but because we didn't properly sit and nurture our portfolio in the past few months, we have some holes we have to deal with. We have some evictions. We've got a woman going into a nursing home. She had bed bugs. Now we got to turn this property over. We've got some other issues here, but right now our portfolio is cash flowing what?
$23,000 a month.
And it could be what?
If I conservatively estimate full capacity, it's $33,000 a month. So we're bleeding
Right.
$10,000 a month. So we have to put our intention on, maybe some, like one we've had listed for rent for a month. So maybe we need to lower the rent a little, by nominally.
But we also
right?
had the holidays to deal with, so
Right.
you can't also
Another one is just
go off the
not
deep end with that.
finished yet. So that's not my fault. We expected about a year of construction. So, because it's a 6-unit, I wouldn't say that's our fault. It's just a hole we have to stay on top of.
We had some historic district permits to deal with on that 6-unit, and so challenges from the city, but it's going to be gorgeous and it's going to be fantastic when it's finished. We're hoping in the next 2 months it'll be finished. There's a lot of work on that property, but right now, vacant.
And then 2, we have one that was supposed to be rented, moved in last week, and our property management missed something that caused a delay. So I'm not sure how much that is my fault, but I have to scream a little louder and make that happen. And then the other one that we've been waiting for this management company to do a construction job on, and they haven't done that, and it's taken them now 6 months. So I'm not happy about it, clearly.
But
so
we
it
can
just
blame.
means I have to stay on top of them a little bit better.
We can blame ourselves. I mean, this is a year 2019 of not blaming anybody but ourselves. When you nurture your portfolio, it grows. When you nurture the things that you own, they grow, right?
Yeah. But, last year was hard. We had a lot of turnover on this portfolio, and a lot of these are up and running now because of our efforts.
Right.
So I just,
And what's amazing is once we really started putting our intention on making sure our portfolio was performing the way that it should be as a cash flowing portfolio of properties, guess what happened? They started to cash flow. We started to get things turned around, right?
Yeah. It's not so bad. Last year I was crying a lot more often.
So this is what we do. We, gather up in some Mickey Mouse pants on and actually
He's in Mickey Mouse.
yeah.
I'm in no makeup and I have a bobby pin in my hair.
This is a Saturday morning behind the scenes of going over our portfolio and having coffee and figuring it out while the grandparents are watching the kids who are in town. So, hey, this is what you've got to do, right? Mm-hmm. Do it, no excuses, and don't blame anybody. Work on it. Something about that running water just soothes me, as angry as I was this morning. This is totally our fault. Another big gaping hole in our portfolio right now is that 6-unit property that I own. It's the only larger multi that I have. And again, the lesson here is that it went away from my bread and butter. My bread and butter are single family properties. Here I've got this larger 6 unit. I've got to deal with the historic district, contractors that are doing a fantastic job, but we have delays because of the city. It's taken a long time. It's taken nearly a year to get this property done and cash flowing. So huge capital outlay sitting there not cash flowing for me. So that's 6 units right there. The other 3 with evictions, right? So that's, 9. I've got another property that I picked up really cheap. Here's another lesson for you. Got a really dirt cheap property. And I just picked it up, on a whim. Numbers sounded good. Comps looked good, and I was gonna, do a big renovation on it. But we just couldn't find the team to do it. So it just sat there in our portfolio, this piece of crap property that we never touched, we never did anything with. It just sat there. The property is condemned, okay, not a big deal. You end up having to pay like $300 to the city to get the condemnation removed and you can start the renovation. But I don't have the time right now to deal with this property. So I'm just getting rid of it. I'm gonna sell it, break even, not gonna make any money on it, not gonna lose any money on it, but it's a headache, but it's sitting there vacant, unrenovated, not doing anything with it. Another waterfall. Artificial. But once you stop paying attention to your portfolio, guess what starts to happen? Things start to rust a little bit. Like I have a pair of skis. I left them outside too long. Edges started getting rusty. No, you got to take care of those skis. You got to bring them in. You got to wax them a couple of times a season, right? Same thing with your rental portfolio. And we have no one to blame but ourselves. So what we started to do over the past few weeks, we started to nurture the portfolio again. I just didn't realize we were that much of a gap, $10,000 gap right now. So maybe that's why I'm a little angry today. But over the past few weeks, we started really nurturing that portfolio again, getting on the phone with the property management team, making sure that this is happening. The power is turned on this property. Does the city need some permit on this thing over here? Just making sure that we're taking care of it. It's like pruning a tree, right? If you don't take care of it, it's going to end up dying. Yes, it's going to get nice and big, but guess what? Branches are going to start to die. And that's exactly what happens when you own rental real estate. You've got to nurture it. You've got to take care of it. So don't get me wrong, $23,000 a month in passive income from our properties that are currently performing, that's great. Yes, but I would love that additional $10,000 a month that could be performing for me if I didn't have my head buried in the sand on some of these. So moral of the story, nurture your portfolio. Money flows to those people that take care of it. And we were simply not taking as good a care of our portfolio as we could have. Hope you will press that like button down there and subscribe to the channel. Learn from my mistakes because we aim to help you build financial freedom and financial intelligence. Don't make some of the same dummy moves that I've made. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. We'll see you next time, everyone. Now, I'm going back for my walk.